Afternoon, guys. It's Megan James. I'm back. Home office. Coming at you from North Carolina. Legacy Lifestyle Coaching. Here we are. What's up? I hope everyone's having a great day. I brought you a new topic today, and it's more about finding yourself, but what I called it is a little, I guess, passive aggressive. It's stop whining about not fitting in. It's the name of this blog, and the reason why I call it that is because we've all been there at some point in our lives, whether it's in school or work or just something like that. There's a group of people that you get pushed into, and you don't fit that style. So, as a lot of you know, I was in a recent business opportunity, and I found that I was taking offense when I went to these conferences, and I saw people up on stage speaking from stage, and I was kind of getting frustrated because I had no one that was like me. There was no one like me up on that stage. There was no one that I could identify with, that I had to look up to, that I could kind of emulate or duplicate. And it's a privately held company anyway, so a lot of what they got up there and talked about, I didn't agree with. I felt that they may have bashed the LGBTQ community on more than one occasion. And I didn't feel comfortable being a part of an environment that wasn't going to be all-inclusive to everyone. And you don't have to, when you build your company, whether it's private company, public company, doesn't matter, you have a niche, right? We all have a niche. We all have something that we want to model for a specific type of person, okay? So you don't have to open it up to everyone. I get that. But when you're advertising it to people as this is an all-inclusive opportunity, anyone can do this from any background. But when you put people up on stage, it's your average old white dude, and his wife just hangs in the background and doesn't say anything. And occasionally she's allowed up on stage to speak, but for a fraction, like an eighth of the time that the man is. And I say man and woman because there's no gays that have succeeded in this atmosphere. So I felt like this was not an environment where I was ever going to be fully accepted, just tolerated. And the only reason that was going to be the case is because I was making somebody money somewhere. And the more that I kind of sunk in on that, the more toxic it became for me. And then I started figuring out that I can't be offended by somebody else's lifestyle. I can't be offended because that person honestly believes that transgenders are the root of all evil. I can't be offended by that. If that's his belief, then that's his belief. He can express that as he wants. That's fine. Freedom of speech, it is what it is. We don't always agree with each other, but we have to play nice. And instead of getting offended by the fact that there was no one like me up on that stage, I realized that this was an opportunity. While this was also an obstacle and something that hurt me, it hurt my heart, it made me snap out of it and realize that this was something that needed to be out there. And the more I started researching coaching and finding other people out there who were doing similar things, building a lifestyle, coaching people, most of it was right down the middle. You have guys out there and they coach guys and they're very masculine and they talk like this, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But then the women that are coaching women are very feminine. They're wearing women's clothing, lots of makeup. They talk about shopping and clothes, and there was no one in my category, and I knew I wasn't the only one, because it was just me. It's different, but there's multiple people out there like me. There may be women who they wear men's shirts. They wear men's clothing because it's more comfortable, because women's clothing is far too tight and uncomfortable for anyone, or at least for me. I cannot get down with some skin tight capris. Sorry, it's not happening. Can't get down with some underwire bra. I don't even know how to work that. I don't wear makeup. I don't like to shop unless it's Dick's Sporting Goods and I'm looking for soccer balls or workout equipment. You know, and I think a bigger issue is a lot of women don't want to work with women who are like me because they feel that people like me are trying to become more like a man and that we're losing our womanhood or rejecting our womanhood, but that's not the case at all. I've been a tomboy my entire life. Literally, you can ask anybody in my family. I had a bowl cut till like I was 11 probably. Wore boys' clothes my whole life. I only hung out with boys. I did not like to hang out with girls. I felt like there were too much drama, and it wasn't that I didn't like being a girl or that I was trying to be more like a boy. I just happened to like the same things that boys liked. G.I. Joes, playing outside, sports, you know, everything I was involved in, they were involved in, so it was natural for me to be friends with them. And another thing is like this other company was, you know, we need to, you know, men and women shouldn't be friends. You can be friends, but you should never be alone. You can only high five and just saying that you're being respectful of other people's relationships, but you're not acknowledging the fact that I don't date men, you know, and it's not even just about me. Every time that somebody got up on stage and would bash a transgender, I watched the solo transgender in the room for that conference get up and walk out. Why? Because we're paying for a service. We're all in here paying for a business conference. Why are you bringing your beliefs into it? So I realized that these people were looking for exactly what I was looking for. We were looking for a conference that would offer us the knowledge, the skills, the capability, the support, not just being tolerated, but actually being welcomed and accepted in a community of like people. That's all they were looking for. And yeah, making money is great. So we want to be successful too. They wanted the same opportunities that all these other people have, these nuclear heterosexual families. I get that. So instead of being offended by that hustle, I branched off and made my own. So that's what this channel is about. This is about open support for everyone. Whether you're a guy and you're feminine but you're straight and you get made fun of because maybe your voice is higher, or maybe you like to wear nice clothes that are tight-fitting. I don't know. Maybe you're a gay guy and some of the straight guys give you a hard time about being gay and flamboyant. Maybe you're a gay female and you dress like a guy, not because you want to be like a guy, or maybe you do. Who cares? That's your business. That is your brand. So what I focused on is building my own brand through coaching, okay? But at the same time, I want to let people know that building your brand isn't just something that you have to do with a business that you're building. Because a lot of people hear that, yeah, I'm building my own brand, and they see that as like a business ownership concept, but it's not specific to just a business. It's specific to your lifestyle. So whether you're just a person living your life, maybe you work for somebody else or whatever the case is, you need to build your own brand in your life. Find out what makes you tick, what lights your soul on fire, and bring that into your life. Life as short as it is, you're never guaranteed tomorrow. So design your life the way you want it to be. I just want to make sure I'm not leaving anything out. But, for me, I think one of the most disappointing things was being told that I was brought into one of the most encouraging and supporting atmospheres. That's what I was told. And former law enforcement, it felt too good to be true. And typically when that's the case, I've always listened to my gut. It's never led me wrong. I didn't listen to my gut. And I went in because I was like, well, I'm being told from so many people it's going to be the most encouraging atmosphere. It's going to be the most positive. And I went in, they were extremely positive about staying positive. You couldn't voice any negativity or anything like that. That's fine. I think that's good, but I also think that some things need to be talked about, because I didn't feel like I could come back and be like, hey, this jerk up on stage is talking about some craziness that has nothing to do with business, and it's quite offensive to most of us in the room. I'm sitting here with my wife and you're rejecting gay lifestyle. So I didn't feel comfortable talking about that with people because I never was really given that outlet, it felt like. So I want to provide an outlet, like a safe space for people who were not just like me, but people who had gone to these business conferences or life coaching conferences in an attempt to better themselves, to get more self-development, self-growth, and instead felt like they were ostracized or just felt like it was a negative place for them to be. I want them to have a safe space where they can come to where none of that's going to be an issue. That's not going to be brought up. In any of my coaching sessions, that's not something that we talk about. If you want to talk about your marriage with me, I'm not at any point in time going to be like, I don't believe in your marriage. Never going to say that. I'm going to support you in whatever your goals are. That's all that I'm here to do. That is what a coach does. It supports their people, regardless of your own personal beliefs. That can't come into this. Yeah, morals, ethics, honesty, integrity, all of that comes into play when coaching. Yes, 100%. But your personal beliefs, sit that shit at home. No one cares. You need to be there for the people who you're coaching. Those people in the audience are your responsibility. They are your clients, and it is your job not to make them happy, but to make them feel accepted and welcome. And the second you start ostracizing people is the second you start losing people. So if your team is dwindling, that's probably why. And I say this with all the love in my heart because I'm at a place in my life where I don't really give a crap what people think. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to say what needs to be said for the people who can't say it. So here we are today. I want to talk about, the fact that I'm still great friends with all the people in that organization because my personal team was accepting of us. They were nice to us. I just did not feel welcome in the overall community, and I realized that succeeding in that platform was not going to be very likely for us. It was going to be a very uphill grind, which is to be expected, but it's going to be worse because of the fact that me and my wife are married. Just because of who we are and who our relationship is, it was going to be a lot more difficult for us than it would be for somebody else, and I really didn't want to put our family through that. So this just kind of led me to realize, I couldn't wish my life away wishing that these people would change, just so I would feel accepted in the environment that they constructed. Why, if gays have spent their entire lives being bashed, would they voluntarily place themselves in a position where they're going to be bashed? Why would you pay money to be someplace like that? It's the same concept of when you walk into a gym, they have the sign on the wall that's like, don't wear clothing that curses or has the inappropriate phrases on it. It's not because they're trying to limit your freedom of speech or your beliefs or anything like that. It's because you're not the only one paying for that gym membership. There are other people there who are also paying for a gym membership. And they're not all going to be okay with your shirt saying some really inappropriate stuff. And you don't want to piss off 100 members by allowing that one member to wear a shirt that may be vulgar or racist or something like that. So there are rules in place for a reason in a business, okay? So basically I had to accept myself, for what I am, and that I can't rely on getting other people's permission and acceptance just to be me. I can't blame somebody else because I was being my authentic self and they were being their authentic self, and it didn't mesh. It is what it is, I need to create an environment where the people that were walking out of that room had a place to come and talk openly. I wanted a place basically where no matter your background, no matter your race or gender, you're welcome. Whether you're, transitioning through a career development, whether you're transitioning through a gender development, whatever the case is, you have somebody to come to and talk. And I'm not talking about like therapists, like you bring all your problems and I give you magical solutions. It's not what a life coach is. You might want to look up a definition of a life coach, but basically it's more goal oriented. So we talk about what you want to accomplish and we found a way to get you there. Now you can bring an issue to a life coach that has to do with that goal and we push you through it, right? But we're not somebody that's going to sit there and take notes and say, how's that make you feel? There are therapists for that. And I highly, like I've talked about before, I highly recommend that everybody sees a therapist at some point in their life. We all go through shit. It gets tough. And you can't always rely on family members or friends to know what to do. Nobody is... My thing is, when you start taking advice from other people and they don't have maybe the fruit on the tree that you're looking for, regardless of any of that, if you take somebody's advice, you're the one living with the consequences, not that person. So you have the responsibility to make freaking sure that whatever advice you take from somebody, it's backed by results. Because if you start taking advice from your broke friends about how to make money, they don't have money. Their advice isn't working for them. Do you want to take advice from somebody like that? And I want to create a platform, with the internet being so widely available in the world today, so many countries having access to it. That's how we are communicating with families. That's how, you live in Japan and you move to the United States, but your family's still back in Japan. You can usually communicate via the internet somehow, right? It's just the perfect platform to really get the message out there. To have a coaching available for people who don't feel accepted in these other communities for whatever reason. I wanted a place where, regardless of how you look, regardless of what your sexual orientation is, or anything like that, you have a platform that you can speak on, you feel comfortable in. If you've built the results, man, if you've built whatever it is that you've built, if you've accomplished your goals, then you should have the opportunity to speak about that. And that doesn't require you to go to church. There's not going to be an emphasis in my coaching program about going to a church. There is going to be an emphasis on belief in yourself, belief in, positive energy, source energy, whatever you want to call it. I don't care if you call it God, Allah, positive energy, source energy. It does not make a difference. But you need to have some belief that all of this is happening for a reason. Like law of attraction exists. The universe is conspiring to bring you great things, not bad things. You need to have some sort of belief. But everything does not hinge on Christianity. I'm not going to bring that out there. My coaching does not intermingle with religion. We don't go that route. Now, if you want to talk about partnering your religion with a goal, we can do that. But what I'm saying is, what I've dealt with previously is, well, you can only go so far with this business conference on Friday and Saturday, but if you come Sunday, you're really going to learn some stuff. And that was typically when it was supposed to be non-denominational. And we get there, and it's the most deep Southern Baptist BS I've ever seen in my life. So, for me, I grew up in a Methodist church, and I didn't always feel very accepted there. I have not had the best luck with churches myself. So, I'm not going to bring that into anything. If you're diehard Catholic, we're going to be fine working together. It's going to be fine, because regardless of what I believe in, regardless of what experiences I've had, that's not going to affect me coaching you. It's just not going to come up unless you bring it up. And, we can work on that, but it's not going to be me downing you, dissing you, calling you out because of some religion. No. That's not what coaching is about. Okay. I'm not always going to be your cheerleader and just trying to, yeah, you did a great job. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're not doing the work to accomplish your goals, I'm going to let you know. And you're not always going to like the stuff that I had to say, but it's to get you to a better place so you can accomplish that goal. I want to make sure that women have a place where they can be women, because at the end of the day, whether you're married to a man or you're married to a woman, you were your own woman before you married whoever that was. You were your own man before you married whoever that was. You are your own person, and just because you marry someone doesn't mold your identity into theirs. You're still your own person. Yes, they're a part of your life, but you have your own ideology and talents and skills. So I want to make sure that we focus on you, that we give you a platform. We can focus on relationships between you two. That's great. But I'm not going to, if you two come to me together, I'm not going to mold you into one person. We're going to focus individually on both of you and bring you into a working relationship with each other. So yeah, I mean, I think that about covers it. But, you know, for me, I just got to this point where I want to build a welcoming environment. So the point of this video for me is just to find out if you've ever dealt with something, you know, like that, if you've felt like you've been outcast of something at some point, and basically just let you know we're here. You know, that's what we're here for. I do work with gays and transgenders and bisexuals and the whole community, because it's such a important issue. I was in college when somebody went to a gay bar, a local gay bar, and some men showed up and beat him to death because he was gay. And I think when we're still living in a modern day society where these things still occur, where not only are you not supported just because of who you love, but you're beaten to death. That's a real issue. So I want to make sure that I promote a community of empowerment. I promote a community of welcoming, of help, of, you know, if you need some resources, I can provide you with those. So I may not be able to counsel you as a therapist because I don't have that education. I don't have those requirements, right? But I can at least refer you to some resources locally for you to get you some of that assistance, okay? I just want to make sure that you have support from somebody in your life, because not all of us were so blessed as to have parents like mine, where when I came out to them, I was openly accepted. It was just like, yeah, we figured that your whole life. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's whatever. Not everybody was so fortunate to have that. And I just want to make sure that not only do you have that environment personally, but you have that relationship as a professional level, on a business development level. Because I don't want to have people limited in their growth in an industry, you know, whether they're building their own business or something like that. I want them to have support from people who understand what it's like and can get the message across and can say, screw all that other stuff. Who cares what they think? That has nothing to do with you. People's beliefs about you have nothing to do with you. It's just something that you've got to work through. You shouldn't care what they think. And it took me a long time to understand this and come to terms with this, because I was a people pleaser for forever. And, you know, I came out of my shell one day and was like, screw it. You know, my opinion of myself means more than anyone else's, even my family's. So I just want to make sure that if I've got some family out there that you know you're welcome. This is an environment where you can feel accepted. We're free to talk, you know. If you want to progress in business or life or whatever, I'm here. And I just don't want anyone to have to go through some of the stuff that I've been through in my life. I've been chosen for positions and careers because of my gender, because of my sexual orientation. I've also been eliminated from getting accepted for positions because of my race, my gender, and my sexual orientation. So I understand what it's like to be discriminated against, but I also understand what it's like to be a victor instead of a victim. I understand that it's important to let that teach us a lesson and learn and grow from it, but not to let it rule us, to let it have us sit and fester, because that doesn't do you any good. You're just letting them win. So we're not going to do that. We're going to kick ass, we're going to take names, and it's going to be amazing. But more importantly, just live your life. At the end of the day, you can't worry about what everyone else thinks. You can't. You really can't. You know, you got to live your life for you, not for anyone else. At some point, you got to step out of your parents' shadow and do your own thing. At some point, you got to step out of the career you hate, do your own thing. I support you. Whatever your goal is, I support you. As long as it's not hurting anyone or crazy, there's no hate speech, there's nothing like that going on. As long as it's, a reasonable big goal, it's going to benefit society, it's going to benefit you, I'm all behind you. So, if you have any questions, message me. If there's any content in this video that you had questions about, or you would rather clarify or talk one-on-one, feel free to reach out and message me. Our website is up and running. It's still in its early development stages. However, it's legacy-lifestyle.com. And on that, feel free to email me, Megan, MEGAN, at legacy-lifestyle.com. Those are two great ways to get up with us, find out what our purpose is about, what our mission is, and reach out to us if you have any questions, or if you'd like to set up a free consultation. I do free consultations because I can't promise that I'm going to partner and work with anyone in particular. I want to make sure that I can help you with whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, and it makes sense for us to partner, because if I tell you what I'm expecting of you and you say, I'm not doing that, then we're probably not going to make that partnership work, because you have to give me a little bit of trust, right? And if I ask you to do something, it's something I'm going to expect you to do. It's something usually just like reading or researching or taking an action here, putting yourself out of your comfort zone over here. If you're not willing to do those things, it may not make sense for us to partner. So I always do a free consultation, so we go over expectations and what things I would do to help you accomplish the goal you have. So please reach out to me. Right now I'm taking new clients. I don't know how much longer that'll go until I start getting some more coaches hired on and can start moving them into their route. But yeah, I hope you guys have an excellent day, and just live your life. Design the life you always wanted. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.